Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here with us today. My name is Diana Conde, and I am the head of communications and operations at the Earth Foundation, the organization behind the Earth Prize. We're now halfway through the submissions phase of the competition. We are thrilled about this. You probably know this too. We closed the registration back in November, and we had students register from over 114 countries and territories in over 500 schools. So of course, we are super excited about this. And yeah, I just wanted to take the time now to really congratulate all of you who are watching us today, who've registered, who are participating, and who made it to this phase of the competition. You should really be proud of yourselves. And just so you know, you are over 650 teams participating. And we're just looking forward to seeing all the brilliant ideas that come out of this. So I am joined today by a very special guest. His name is Omar Itani, and he's not only one of the 9 amazing young change makers featured in the Earth Prize Bespoke Learning content. He's also the 2019 UNEP Champion of the Earth, and most importantly, the founder and general manager of FabricAID. Now, a brief description: FabricAID is a social enterprise from Lebanon who's working to create a circular model for secondhand clothing. And they are based in Lebanon, Jordan, and I believe soon in Egypt. I read a little bit. So congratulations, Omar, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm very happy to be here. I myself started my first enterprise when I was 16 years old, back in high school. So this brings back a lot of great memories. The enterprise I started when I was 16 didn't actually continue and become a startup, but the things and the skills and the techniques that I learned from the early days back in high school and in the beginning of university were crucial in allowing me to start FabricAID a couple of years later.
Great. Well, before we jump in, for where we're here today, I thought maybe, Omar, you can share a little bit about us, with us, about your involvement in the Earth Prize as a change maker. So I don't know, you want to share, what appealed to you about the Earth Prize, and why did you decide to support this idea, this initiative?
Sure. It's again an expression of my own experience. Focusing on young youth is extremely important in bringing any type of change possible to the world. Myself, I was terrible in school, like really bad, and not really good at sports. In usually social occasions, I wasn't that extroverted, very different from who I am today. Uh, and there was no programs, like I couldn't excel in a normal academic program, although I thought that no, I have a lot of things to actually offer. So seeing how the Earth Prize is focusing on this segment of people that is usually there's not much focus on, our voices are not heard, although we have a lot of capacities, and not all of those capacities are to be expressed through the usual academic system. So it really aligned with me, and I hope the program that I participated in 10 years earlier had a tremendous impact on me. I hope this program will have tremendous impact on the people participating too. And that's why I felt compelled to take part, especially that Earth Prize is doing it at a bigger scale, at an international level. There's a lot of people involved. It's fresh, it's transparent. It really ticked all my boxes.
Thank you so much for sharing all that. We're just so happy to have you as one of our change makers. And this is precisely why, because you have so much knowledge and so much experience to share with all of our participants, but even with our team. We learned so much from each of you, so thank you. Now, just as a reminder for everyone, and I already saw a few messages flying around. Hello from Dubai, hello from French Guiana, hello to everyone. We're thrilled to have so many people from literally all over the world joining us today. This is very exciting. And as a reminder, you can watch Omar's full video on the EarthPrize Learning platform. You can log into your EarthPrize profile on our website, and you can click on the watch content button, and this will take you to the learning platform. And there you can watch the video, listen to the full story behind FabricAID, all the amazing tips and skills, learnings Omar has shared with us on all the other videos. So go ahead and do that. Now, to what we're here, right? This is one of the first sessions. Actually, we're having two. This is the first of two sessions we'll be having this week, where we'll be focusing on the Fresh Idea Canvas. So my colleague, Komal Sadie, behind the scenes, she'll be sharing, there it is. We'll be sharing a document where we'll be going through the structure of the Fresh Idea Canvas. Now, before we jump right into it, I just want to remind everyone of the 4 tasks that you'll have during the submissions phase of the competition. So the first one is your fresh idea. This is where you'll give us all the details, all the information about your project. And it's structured into 8 different categories. We'll see them here now as we go through the Fresh Idea Canvas, because the second task of the submissions phase is the Fresh Idea Canvas. And the structure of this is exactly the same as the Fresh Idea, but it provides a snapshot of your project. So really, this is a summary of your idea, your project, your initiative. Third, we'll have supporting documents. This is an optional task, but this is your chance to provide any additional materials that you'd like the judges to take into account when looking at your idea. So I say take advantage of that. And finally, the favorite mentor task. So this task is where you get to vote for your favorite mentor out of the 30 mentors available on the mentorship platform on the EarthPrize website. So just as a little reminder, this is not for you to vote for your teacher. We all know those are going to be your favorite ones, but this is your chance to vote for one of the 30 mentors that will be answering questions and providing guidance to all our participants throughout the competition. So yeah, we can jump right into the Fresh Idea Canvas. So Omar, take yourself back to when you were a teenager, when you were 16, and just imagine that you registered for the EarthPrize and have made it to the submissions phase. Congratulations. And have now to fill out this Fresh Idea Canvas. And because you have a great idea in mind for an initiative to reduce textile waste in Lebanon, we can go through each of these categories and fill it out with your amazing idea. So we'll be very brief because this is, as I said, a snapshot of your idea. So Omar, in 3 sentences, what is the problem you're trying to solve here?
Sure. So I believe that there is in Lebanon 2.5 million people who cannot afford basic human rights, such as decent clothing. In the same time, there's a lot of people that have clothes that they are willing to donate, yet they can't find a system that can deliver their clothing to those in need. This is the problem that I'm trying to solve.
Nice. Very, very straight to the point.
Exactly. And more than 20, less than 7.
Keep this in mind for all the participants watching us. You have a minimum of 20 words for the Fresh Idea Canvas and a maximum of 70 words. So if you go over this, the system will not let you submit it. Now, in 3 sentences again, what is your proposed solution? How do you plan on fixing this issue?
An efficient and effective clothing collection, sorting and redistribution system that collects clothes from privileged areas and redistributed in marginalized areas through dignified shopping centers, shops.
Great.
Or shopping stores.
Sounds like a brilliant idea. For implementation, how would you implement your idea? What steps would you need to take in order to bring this idea into reality?
First, I need to have collaborations with NGOs to collect clothes that they have. Second is to install clothing collection bins so people can donate directly into those bins. Third is to establish a small workplace so I can sort the collected clothes into different categories. Fourth is to establish a small shop, a nice one, good interior, in a marginalized area where people can go inside the shop and actually buy the items they want at prices that they can afford without feeling that somebody is doing charity for them.
Great. What resources would you need to do this?
So I need a limited budget of around $5,000 to just have manufacture a couple of clothing collection bins, get hangers and rails for the store, and pay a couple of months of rent. Um, uh, get hopefully I'll try to get a sponsorship for a company that can give us a small space so we can do the sorting inside it, because I don't want to pay I don't want to pay money for a sorting facility. And first, I don't want to have any employees because this will be very expensive. So basically having a partnership with a volunteering organization that can send me volunteers and students who can help me in sorting and sorting the clothes. And perhaps a partnership with a logistics company that can maybe charter a truck every couple of days so I can collect the clothes through it. Um, Other than that, maybe if I'm lucky, um, a collaboration with a laundromat so I can send them sometimes the items that need to be cleaned. This would be very helpful.
Fantastic. So next one, financial. So what would be the main costs of your project and how do you expect to finance it?
So in financing, I think the best thing that I can do is to apply for competitions because it will help me get exposure. It will put me in the right network. I might perhaps get the money, and it will be a good way to focus and to learn better how to start up the enterprise. And it might be a great way to finance. If I wasn't lucky in financing the startup um, through competitions, I'll try to apply for a small loan from a bank. But I'll make sure not to take a loan against an asset. Maybe I'll apply for one of those loans that help youth to start small businesses. There are usually many banks around the world have them. It's usually a couple of $1,000s. This can be very helpful. If also this didn't work, then I'll try to get the $5,000 from friends and family.
Solid plan. Now, for stakeholders, who would be interested in supporting your project?
So definitely laundromats who want to have a CSR aspect to their work and who want to do impact. Definitely logistics companies who also want to have a small CSR part of their work. Predominantly NGOs, because I think that most NGOs have clothes and they want to distribute them, but it's very hard to distribute clothing because there's a lot of cost involved and you need to be focused on that. And there's not much charities who do that. So I think I'll be helping a lot of charities to be able to recycle the clothes they receive in a proper, effective, and impactful way. Also, people who can benefit from from the stakeholders are definitely the people who can come to the stores and benefit and buy the items. Those are, like, I would call them the beneficiaries, the people who are actually benefiting from the enterprise. And on the supply side, there is the people who are donating in the clothing collection bins. Those are people who will benefit a lot from this because it will be an accessible way for them to do impact.
Great. So communications, or I think it's communication plan on the platform. How would you help people find out about your idea?
So first, I'll start with my own social media. So I'll try to put it on my Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Snapchat, and try to make sure that most of my friends and people in my circle, my friends, my family, would also share this content to make sure that the small circle that I'm in, everybody knows about what I'm doing, and I try to get as much as support as possible from this circle. And then I'll try to talk to basically minor celebrities. I'm not going to talk to Celine Dion. I think she, she will be a bit busy. But I'll try to talk to micro influencers, people in my area, people in my city who have 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, something like that. Those micro influencers can actually be very impactful. And I think I can get some of them without actually paying money. Third, I'll try to get my high school to actually share the news to all the students through the email thread or through posting it on the boards of the school. This can actually work out quite well. And if it's possible, I'll try to work with a scout so it can also tell everybody from different schools about what I'm doing. So trying to engage everybody that I work with, maybe the basketball team, the scout, the school. So working with every one of those small entities that I'm in, so they can be engaged in what I'm doing.
Great. And finally, what is the expected impact of your idea, and who are the beneficiaries who would benefit from it? I think you mentioned already a bit earlier, but
So the most important beneficiary are people from marginalized communities. Here, I'm planning to do a small map to the city to locate a place where there's a lot of marginalized communities, and yet it's not far away from an area where I can collect the clothes because I don't want the traveling distance to be quite far. So what I'm planning to do is to check an area big enough that has a lot of people from underprivileged background, and yet it's in a central location. And this will be the first area that I plan to impact, and the people living in it will be the expected beneficiaries and the people I would hope to impact. But for my enterprise, I think there's two types of impact in terms of people who are receiving the clothes, and impact in terms of the people who are donating the clothes, because I'm also doing an impact to their lives and helping them to recycle their clothes in a more accessible way. So in the same mapping of the city, I'll try to identify rich areas in the city that can actually uh, donate the clothes. And I'll first start by installing the clothing collection bins in those neighborhoods. So hopefully they can also contribute and and support in the impact of the organization.
fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. This is it. This would be Omar's fresh idea canvas for his amazing idea, FabricAID. Thank you so much for doing that with us and sharing it with everyone watching. Now, as a little reminder for all our participants watching us, if you don't have time to finish this you're working on it and you have to run and go do something else, please remember you can click on save and continue later. And as it says, continue later, the system will save all the progress you've made. And you do have to click on mark as complete at the bottom of the page. We had a few people reaching out to us during the registration phase because they didn't realize they had to do this step. Please know that if you don't click on mark as complete, your submission will not go through. And as another reminder for the supervisors this time, once all the tasks are finalized by your students, you will have to review the tasks and finalize the submission. So you'll have another button to click on that says submit at the very end. And again, if the supervisor doesn't do that, the submission will not go through. So please remember to do that for your team. And finally, if you need more guidance, remember that at the top of the page for the Fresh Idea and the Fresh Idea Canvas, we've included 3 examples of some of our change makers ideas. And they include complete fresh ideas and fresh idea canvases for you to look at and use as guidelines. So yeah, now, as always, we'd love to open the floor for questions. Any question you might want to ask Omar or myself, we'll be happy to answer them. So let's look into it right now. Okay, so actually, we should start with these. We had two questions coming in through our social media. We've asked them, we've asked our followers to send us their questions a few days ago, and we had two coming in through there. So, Omar, the first one is for you. How did you come up with the idea for FabricAID? Was it easy?
So it started really organically. In Lebanon, there's a big phenomenon where most of the country is big residential buildings. So most people would donate their clothes to the concierge in the building, and the concierge will see what he or she can do. So in our case, our family used to do this. And I took some of my clothes and I wanted to give them to the concierge. And through a conversation with the guy, I figured out that he doesn't really benefit from the clothes that I give him because most of the clothes that he receives are not his size, not his type, not his taste. So he ends up basically throwing those items because he doesn't know necessarily people who can benefit from them, and he's not willing to put the effort. Like has a million things to do per day. Um, so I was like, this system that happens all over the city just doesn't make sense. A better way to do it. I was sure that there's a better way to do it. I, and I used to volunteer a lot, and I really, really encourage every single person in this group, whether you continue in your endeavors or not. Volunteering is extremely important. It will one day allow you, if you want to become a social entrepreneur, it will open a door for you, and if not, it will allow you to know what you want to do in your career and in your life in general. Um, so because I used to volunteer a lot, I knew a couple of neighborhoods that would actually benefit from the clothing that I had. And I used to go to those beneficiaries I know and to try to link the things they exactly need with the things I have. So if they need like a t-shirt, okay, what color, what cut, what size, and to try to see if one of my friends or my family members or I have a similar item. And this is how it happened for many, many months. And it wasn't even an enterprise, it was more of a volunteering endeavor. A bit by a bit, more people were actually donating clothes to me, and more people were asking me for clothing. And I felt that there was a need for this to become more of an enterprise. And that's how I embarked on developing FabricAID as a startup.
Word, there you have it. Very nice story, actually. Okay, the second one, and this I believe is for me. In my motivation letter, I said I would work on one idea related to waste, but now I have a better one to fight this deforestation. Can I change my idea? Is this allowed? Yes, of course it is allowed. You are allowed to change your idea up till the minute you need to submit, which is January 31st. So yeah, essentially the judges will be looking at your fresh idea canvas, and your supporting documents. So yeah, feel free to change it. Some more questions from the chat box. Okay, will the recording be emailed to us? Again, I'm saying it. Again, yes, we will be sending the recording on a follow-up email, and we will be sharing the main takeaways from the webinar through our social media. So I encourage you to follow us there. Should our ideas be regional centric or global centric? Regional centric or global centric? It is up to you. We accept all sorts of ideas. Local, national, global scope, it's up to you, really. And this was twice. For Omar, what was the biggest challenge you faced during FabricAID, and how did you overcome it?
Uh, I think there's a lot of challenges in every aspect, but those challenges are quite interesting because those are the things you are proud to overcome, the things that actually keep you excited. Um, so one of those challenges was basically the type of the business Fabricate is. Every time we need to open a shop, we need to have the renovation, the rent, to buy the equipments needed before we generate the first revenues. So we always needed to put money in before we generated revenues back. And this meant we needed to have the money, which wasn't the case in most of the time. So finding money in the first year and a half was very, very challenging. Although we were very lucky, but it was stressful to always trying to make ends meet. This I would recall to be one of the toughest aspects. Also, another tough aspect, like now, if I'm going to start a business, I know in what field it will be, because I have expertise in a certain field. In my case, it's recycling, upcycling, fashion in particular. Um, but when you start at 16, you don't have experience in a certain field. So, unlike most people in any industry, most people who graduated from university, they have a certain specialization. So they have their comfort knowledge. Starting very young, you don't have this comfort knowledge. So it's always everything in front of you is an opportunity to learn. This is in itself something really exciting, but also a bit overwhelming sometimes.
Okay. Okay, there are tons of questions here. um, I wanted to ask if our project should be related more on science. No, not really. As I said, we accept all sorts of projects and ideas. It could be something more scientific. I don't know if you're developing something, chemical solution. I don't know, but it could also be a campaign, and that has nothing really scientific about it. So really, anything, any good idea that could somehow help our planet, help our societies become more sustainable. This is it. We'll accept it. So I hope that answered your question. Um, okay. Omar, this is for you as well. Do you have any words of motivation for my students?
Y- y- You know what's really motivating about starting at a very young age? There's very little to lose and so much to win. Like, hopefully one day, if I have kids, I'll make sure that they are embarking on entrepreneurial endeavor, trying to help the environment, the society, as young as possible, embarking on those activities, because there's so much to learn in life, and start the sooner you start, the better. So be excited, be happy that you are actually doing that. I think I have a problem with the bulb, with the light. um, oh, okay, okay, it's better.
Back on.
Back on. So start as soon as possible. Start as young as possible, um, because why not? The risk is very limited. What you have today, the time, the energy, is extremely valuable. Um, so this by itself is I think for me is quite motivating. Also, whatever you do today will be the basis of what you will build on in the future. You don't need to figure out anything today. Just start building, start experiencing stuff. With time, your character will be built, your entrepreneurial acumen will be developed a bit by a bit. But this, what you are doing today, everybody in the school, the 129 people, that's 1% of society. Most people your age are doing Netflix right now. Uh, so you have a huge upper hand that will show 5, 6, 10 years later.
Yeah, great words. And again, just as a reminder to all our participants, they should feel very proud of themselves for really, taking the time to participate and trying to do something good. You should already be feeling very, very proud of yourselves. A couple of more questions because we don't have much more time. Okay, Ram Chandra Dahal. They ask, does the idea have to be profit-based? Because we're trying out ideas which are mostly non-profit based and it should benefit people or the environment. Any thoughts on this? Well, my thought would be that any idea would be great, right? If it's a good idea, if it makes an impact, a positive impact, is a good idea, and it shouldn't matter, right, if it's profit-based or non-profit-based. As long as it works, that would be my take on it. I don't know, Omar, if you have any thoughts on this. I would be interested in hearing them.
So it really depends on the type of the idea. Some solutions in the world should always be given for free. There shouldn't be any profit involved. If you're opening a cancer center, a blood bank, this service needs to be provided 100% for free. But most other environmental and social activities can actually be done in a way that is sustainable. And it's really important to do them in a way that is sustainable, because it will ensure that they will actually continue in the future. And you're chasing your solution, you're chasing developing the solution, and not chasing donors and potential funders, because maybe you will get them in 2021 and 2022, 2023. If you slip 1 year without funding, everything will go in vain, and you'll be able to you'll need to close. But if you build a sustainable entity, your sales will create a sphere of protection. You can also get grants and get funding, but sales will always be a safeguard for your entire enterprise.
Great. Okay, another one for Diana. This is from Rama Hodaib. For Diana, do you recall any past teams that have developed exceptional solutions? And can you tell us about them if you don't mind? Now, this is the first year of the Earth Prize, so we don't have past solutions to share. Next year we will, for sure. But this year what we have are amazing change makers like Omar here, who have created something incredible. They had brilliant solutions that they brought to life, are working, are making a positive impact, and you can hear all about them on the Earth Prize Learning platform. So I suggest you go to our website, you log into your profile, you click on that watch button I talked about, watch content button, and there you'll access all their amazing, super inspiring stories. And hopefully they'll be very inspiring to your kids. Shall we do one last one? Okay. Seriously, there's so many questions. It's quite overwhelming. Okay, I don't know. Anonymous attendee, how will these supporting documents be assessed? Well, this is up to the Earth Prize adjudicating panel. They'll be looking at the entirety of the submission, so both the Earth Prize fresh idea canvas, the fresh idea, and the supporting documents. Really, if you have any additional materials, anything really you would like to share that you think supports and strengthens your project, you should include it there. And I'm sure in any case, whatever you decide to share there, as long as it's relevant to the project, it can only benefit your idea. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. I'm really sorry to all the people who've asked questions. We don't really have more time, but I wanted to remind you, we'll have another session this Friday at 5 p.m. Central European time with another change maker, Lesein Mutunke. So we'll be sharing the registration link with all of you on a newsletter, through social media. So stay tuned, because we'll share that and you'll be able to register for that one. So yeah, this would be it for today. Thank you so much, Omar, for being here with me today. I'm sure your answers and the example you provided for the Fresh Idea Canvas will be extremely helpful to all our participants. And yeah, thank you so much to everyone who tuned in from literally all over the world. Yeah, we wish you the best of luck with the competition, and yeah, check out our next webinar on Friday.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Goodbye. Have a great week.